Okay, on the whole the packaging looks relatively solid. There's quite a bit of the aircraft exposed, but all seems to be okay, and the components protected. I'd like to think that this is a full foam box, and also not things like this in the end where the model's not protected, but on the whole everything looks okay. Moving on to the next part of the review is the component count and quality of components, but as you can see we don't have very many parts or components. So the wing is one piece. We have then the horizontal and vertical stabilizer, a bag of small pieces, and also the fuselage. So not a great deal of components, but everything is there. What I would say though is to mention the quality. I've not seen this kind of large grain before in any of the models I've had, but I do think this must be standard. It looks very uniform, very molecular. It seems to have some sort of protection over the finished surfaces. I've got the multi-plug unit here, so when you put the wings on it's all automatically plugged in. Yeah, so all looks very nice. Same on the fuselage. As you can see, there's none of these little bubbles where it's air release out of the moulding, so whether these are on the inside, yeah, like here on the underside of here you can see the bleed holes where the airs come out, but you'll not see that on the model because that's going to fit on the rear of the fuselage. Again, in the fuselage you can see the breathe holes, so that's quite a nice touch that they're not on the outside. Okay, step one of the build is to put the horizontal stabilizer on. Just ensure that the carbon fibre rod is pushed through and the navigation or flashing light, nav light, socket goes down through the hole inside and to underneath, which is a big bundle of wires like this. So my next task, I'm not bolting any of this up, I'm just going to try to fit it all together in one go. My next task is to make sure it's all seated, but I would like to go into the front compartment and pull some of these leads through, because the space that you have for these is not huge. So if I can pull some of those through I would be happy. As you can see also on the, this is just my personal preference, it didn't come with the kit, but I do like to put my any servo plugs with retainers on so they can't come undone, and you know that they're pushed in all the way because the retainer wouldn't fit otherwise. In the back here you've only got two elevator leads and two rudder leads. One rudder lead is for the nav light on the top, which is the one that you saw going down there, and the other is the rudder servo. Okay, so off camera I'm going to just pull those wires through a little bit, or push them through, see how I go, just to try to keep it as neat and tight as possible in there. Okay, as you can see I've now got the wires pushed into this area here that I've just shown. It wasn't possible, I was hoping I could come inside the fuselage here or even to here to pull some of these wires through to make it a little bit easier, but I couldn't, so I've just had to push them all in as a bundle. As you can see, this is still not down fully, but I'm hoping when I put the bolt down it will be the case that everything's okay. But I think something differently could have been done there, and a little bit better, or at least given the opportunity to pull the wires through to make it a little bit neater. I'm pleased I put the servo locks on because of this, because just pushing into this recess, it's quite easy that you could have unplugged something. Okay, again off camera, it's difficult holding the camera and filming, so off camera I'll just fasten these up. Okay, one thing I like here that is a good example of a good manufactured, good kit, well thought out, is that all the bolts are the same size for the whole aircraft. This I like. And then they've got thread lock on as well, which is nice to see. Okay, we've got all the bolts in now, so the 2 holding the vertical fin and the 5 in the horizontal tailplane. I put the middle ones in, and not fully tightened but very close to tightening first, because it's equal against its length. Then put the back ones in and the front one in last, and then just gone round and done the final nip up. Fit's not too bad, a little bit off on the paintwork, but I'm not going to see that while it's flying. And this, I don't feel there's any stress now on any of the wiring or sockets underneath here, so quite happy with the back end. And again, 2mm drive is to use on the bolts, so that's the back end of the model done. Okay, another nice touch is the positioning of the ESC on this side of the air ducting. That's going down to the fan unit. That means there'll be plenty of cooling for the fan. You can also put cooling fan unit on the top if you wish, but won't be doing that because I'm sure that's enough airflow over that to keep that cool. And again, you can see these multi-pin for all the wing connectors. How that'll stand the test of time, I'm not quite sure, by removing the wings a lot, but maybe this is a model got to leave the wings on or not. Okay, I've tidied up a little bit the wiring. It's a little bit of a pet hate of mine to see a massive bundle of wiring, so I've tie wired everything together to make it independent runs. So as you can see here, I've used the green tie wire. Again, I've put the safety connectors on. That's for the aileron. Again, when I push this back underneath here, because I'm going to have to physically push it all underneath, at least I know these aren't coming undone. So here I've identified the rudder on red zip ties. The elevator is on black zip ties. And here you can see again I've done the safety stops for the retracts, and they're on yellow. The flap is a single wire lower down, so that hasn't got a zip tie on it. Can't remember after I've done that one. Rudder, yes I have. Rudder down the red. Blue is the power for the ESC. And yeah, basically these will be one will be the reverse and the other is the ESC, and then you've got the power unit, the power lead there to the ESC for the batteries. Okay, as you can see now I've got the receiver in and everything wired up to this. Been a bit fiddly with it being FUTAR because I feel the spec or the plugs that are in the model are a little bit wider than FUTAR would be, but anyway, we're in. To stop the wiring coming back out, I've just put a bit of epoxy tape round there, glass cloth tape, sorry, not epoxy tape, glass cloth tape around there. Hopefully that'll just stop it popping back. Not that it'd really matter, but that's me and my OCD. As I say, I don't really like to see wiring everywhere, but there's nothing in the battery bay that it could get hung up on. So my batteries that I use, my flight packs, I've got EC5s. But I like how the EC5 plugs just go straight into the Spectrum plug on the end, so that's that. Nice job. Only thing I've got to sort at the moment that I can't sort, but anyway, it'll be for probably even another day, because I'm not that bothered about reverse thrust, because we fly off grass, so it stops quick anyway. But I can't get my reverse thrust set up at the moment. So, but let me say, I'm quite happy with the progress so far. That's the only thing left to do. Put the wings on as well. Just try the ailerons and the flaps. So, but let's say that's the fuselage built. Okay, we've got the wings installed now. There was no great dramas there. The 5 bolts just went in. The pre-installed servo plugs seemed to go through okay. Just needed a little bit of a push, but they went in. As I said earlier in the video, we'll see what they're like after some period of time. Okay, the model looks nice. That's just on the balance point as it is now, so it's just perfect on the CG with a 5100 graphene battery positioned just there, and it balances perfect. I'll mark it now on some disposable tape, and then once I've flown it, I'll be able to mark them properly onto the foam, the battery positions. All in all, the model looks great, very sleek. I've set the throws up as per the book. The retracts seem to come down quick on the model, but I suppose that might be a good thing eventually. At the moment I've got only the 20% expo, the given throws throughout 3 dual rate settings. So I've measured everything in millimeters. Okay, at the moment you can see the nav lights, hopefully. So whenever the model is just flying, it's got the flashing white light, and if you drop the retracts, it moves over to a fixed white light. There's also a landing light on the nose leg, although that looks a little bit not very visible, but we'll see once we fly it. But I like that it's moving between the flashing and the fixed when it comes into land. Nav lights are fixed, as you can see, and strobe lights are flashing as should be. Again, the one on the rudder is a little bit like the one for the front retract. Not very bright, but it is working. And the red strobe on the top is nice. Just give you an idea of me throws. So that's the up as required, and that's the down as required. My flaps are set at up and down there. The book gave a little bit more on the flap, but I'm not doing any more than that. I don't even think it'll need that, to be fair. So, elevator, again as per the book. Rudder, I'm going as much as I can. Look at the fan unit. So, but lovely looking model. It'll be very visible in the air, I'm sure. And it has got the detachable nose cone with a strong magnet. But I think I'll glue that on eventually. We'll see how we go with it. I'll normally glue them on. Okay, for the build series, I think that's it. And next video will be the maiden flight.